How to double your money. What if you have $5,000 and turned it into $10,000? What if you took $10,000 and turned it into $20,000? What if you took $50,000 and turned it to $100,000? Well, Noelle has done this over and over again, and it is not as difficult as you think. I'm going to show you exactly how you can double your money. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, or you need to do it better, well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you a simple step-by-step process to doubling your money. I'm going to tell you the truth about compound interest in investing, something most people are not even talking about. I am going to dispel the biggest myth about money and uncover the truth about multiple streams of income. First, there are so many benefits to having money. So, most people think that having money is going to, cover all of their bills and they're going to be able to do all of these cool things. But the great thing about money, and one of the reasons why you want to have money and start having money to yourself and having money in your bank account and things like that, is because it really creates financial freedom. So many times people want financial freedom, but they don't necessarily know what it means. And financial freedom really basically means that you have money and time. So it's not just about having money and putting some money aside in the bank account and things like that, but having the time and being able to own your time so that you are not having to go to a job, or you're not having to show up when someone tells you, or you don't have to trade your time for labor. You really want to create a situation where you have money flowing into you, where you have multiple streams of income, where you are able to double your money and you know how to take money that you have and turn it into more money. That is what truly being financially free is about. Most people want financial freedom, but the problem is they just don't know how to get it. So let's talk about what that means. Having money is also about freedom, but more so it's about owning your time so that you are comfortable, so that you can buy the things that you want, so that you can have the life that you want, so you can live comfortably. No, you don't have to have millions of dollars or be the type of person that is a millionaire or billionaire, but having the money to do what it is that you want to do when you want to do creates the life that you want. Additionally, when you're able to create these streams of income and you get to have fun and do what you want, you can live a comfortable life. You can make choices. It gives you options. And that's truly what people want when they say they want financial freedom. A lot of times we want financial freedom. What we really mean is we want to have enough money so that we are not beholden to another person. We own our time and we know that money is coming in regardless to whether we go to a job or we do a certain thing. Money is coming in either way. And one of the ways to make sure that you always have this financial freedom is to be able to double your money. So let's get into that part. So let's talk about doubling your money. Should you invest in the stock market? So many people think that investing in the stock market is an easy way to invest in money. But let me quickly explain to you what investing in the stock market really means. When you're investing in the stock market, you are buying shares in a person's company. So if we're talking about a publicly traded company, these really big companies like Samsung or GE or Sony, you would go onto the New York Stock Exchange, for example, or the NASDAQ if it's a tech type of stock, and you could buy a share of that stock for a certain price. Now, if the price of the value of that company is going up and the share price goes up, you would make the difference between what you own the stock for and what the stock is worth. So if you're able to buy a share of a stock for $10 per share, and let's just say you bought 2 shares, you took $20 and you bought 2 shares at $10 each. And then the company starts doing really well, and then it goes to $20 per share. You have 2 of those stocks. So now your $20 worth of stock is now worth $40. So you have doubled your money if you go in and you sell that stock. Now, again, I'm not going to get into fees and brokerage accounts or any of that things, because this is a simple way where I'm going to explain to you how this is possible to double your money with buying stocks. However, if we're talking about investing in stocks, there are definitely some unknowns there. There are some things that you won't be able to control. And if we're talking about doubling your money and making a guaranteed kind of way, or a pretty surefire way to do that, obviously there's no guarantees, then you should do something that you have more control over. Although I invest in the stock market and I have stock, this is not something that I would recommend for you to double your money, because like I said, you do not have control over whether the company is growing or not. You definitely want to invest in stock, and this is shares that you should buy, and you should have a brokerage account and you should invest in stock. But if you're talking about, I need some fast money or I want a guaranteed way to gain my money, this is something that you will invest and you will keep that money in the stock over time. So I have owned stock like PayPal and eBay and GE, General Electric, for example. And again, this is Noelle telling you my own personal business, not telling you, giving you any stock advice or anything like that. These are stocks that I have owned for many years. Now, I sell them and I watch kind of the price, but I am not someone that day trades. That is someone that buys the stock in the morning and is trying to sell it the next day or in the evening to turn a quick profit. This to me is very much like gambling, okay? And many people that do day trading and investing in stock and things like that, they have their science and their art to it, but it is very much gambling because, like I said, you don't have control over it. So it is definitely something that you should do. You should invest. And if you want to be financially free and have different streams of income, investing in the stock market is a very smart thing to do. However, if we're talking about just the chances of you just buying a stock at $10 and then the next day it goes up and you're doubling your money, that's probably not going to happen. Additionally, cryptocurrency, Bitcoins, and things like that, that's also something that I don't necessarily dabble in as Noelle, okay? Not saying that this is something you shouldn't do or anything like that, but just letting you know this is not something that I have done to create wealth. I've never doubled my money this way, and I've never met anyone that has doubled their money this way. So again, not saying that this is untrue, that this can't happen, but just letting you know this is not the way that you should be doubling your money. This is an investment that you should be making and keeping your shares of stock over time, watching them, using it as a long-term investment, cashing out and being very strategic, but not something that I would recommend to double your money. So let's kind of get to the next thing. So now that we have talked about what you shouldn't do in investing in other companies, let me tell you the thing that I think you should do. And this is investing in yourself. So like I said, if you had $10, $20, or whatever it is that you were wanting to invest in doubling your money, I have found that the fastest way that I've been able to double my money is by investing in me. Okay, investing in my businesses, investing in my education, investing in courses or learning something that is going to teach me something to make money. For example, you can do this on any level. When I wanted to get on YouTube, for example, I needed to invest in learning into how to make the videos very well, how to get them edited, and how to have a strategy that would make money with this. I didn't want to just make YouTube videos and they not make money. I wanted to make a way that I could double my money. So if I'm going to buy a phone, if I'm going to buy equipment, I'm going to add up all of the things that I'm going to spend and invest in myself in making a YouTube channel. Then I am going to start to monetize my channel so that I can double my money and have a recurring income over time. Now, this is something that I can make money on whether I'm making videos continuously or not, okay? And this is the same thing that you will do if you invest in yourself and you're making a business. So let's use another example. So YouTube was one example where I invested in myself and I've been able to more than double my income. I've invested in the camera equipment, hiring people to film me, how to edit it, and things like that. And now YouTube is paying me, through ad revenue. I've been able to sell my books, my services, my courses, my real estate, find people to partner with me, people that bring me properties, things of that nature. So I knew the money that I was spending, and then I also knew how I was going to get it back. Let's go, for example, an earlier example of when I was broke and in my parents' basement and had no money, multiple foreclosures, bad credit, and I still invested in me. Like I said, I was living in my parents' basement and I was going to college at UConn, University of Connecticut, getting my bachelor's degree. I was a complete disaster and I was really just going to school because my parents made me. So do not think that Noelle is something special or anything like that. And this has nothing to do with college. But while I was in college, I was going to real estate investor association meetings. I was learning about real estate, and it came an opportunity where someone offered me coaching to teach me wholesaling. Now, many of you guys know I've made tons of video on wholesaling. I've made tons of money wholesaling. It's something that I do that makes me money. But I had to invest in myself and pay to learn this information. I needed this person to teach me exactly how to do it. I needed the contracts. I needed to know how to do them. And I needed a network of people that I could then take my contracts to and make money with. So I had to spend nearly $20,000 in the long run, again, not all at the same time, to learn to do this and start making money. But I had made that money back up within the first year, okay? So these are investments that I made in myself, things that a skill, again, teaching myself a skill and teaching myself something that I could do and setting up a business that would create income for me that I could make over and over and over again, and that I knew I could make a return on my investment. So Let's talk about this for a second, because many times we don't even know what we should be investing in. So let me give you a few more examples on things that you can invest in that will double your money. So step one, you really want to start with something that you know that you could do maybe even on the side, okay? Like I said, I was going to school full time, and then I invested in this real estate program where I was learning wholesaling, and then I would start wholesaling. So it was a side hustle for me at first, all right? This was not my full-time job. I didn't just run out and say, okay, I'm going to quit my job and then do this business. I'm going to do this as a side hustle. I'm going to do this on the side while I go to school, and this is going to make me some money. And so if you start off with something, it could be selling Mary Kay, or selling your products or your services, or selling someone else's services that you are going to do on the side. You're going to be investing in this, and your intention is to double your money. That's the first thing. You have to set that intention, and you have to be very intentional in what you're investing in. You don't want to just be some fool that goes around giving different people money for different courses or programs that you're not going to do. It has to be something that you feel that you are going to do, that you have some knowledge or some skill set or some passion towards, that you can do. The second thing, of course, is setting the intention. Like I said, you're going to invest in this because your intention is to learn this, do this, and make money with it. All right. That's the second thing. And then the third thing you want to do is make sure that it's something that you could go on and teach. This is how I have been able to quadruple and 10x my money. So for example, I learned wholesaling, okay? I invested in it, I paid to learn it, and then I learned it and paid that money. The second thing I did is I did it. I had to actually go out, call people, hey, this is Noelle with ABC Properties. I have a property, I have this group of cash investors, and we're looking for properties in your neighborhood, whatever your script is. I said the script, I did it. And then the next thing after I did it and was doing it, I started teaching it to other people and charging for it the same way that that first person charged me. So this is kind of how you do it. And if it's something that you're investing in where you can learn it, do it, and then teach it, this is an easy way to double your money. So I'm glad you stayed with me to the end, because this is the secret to multiple streams of income. Once you learn to do something, you can teach it. You can create your own courses. You can write books about it. You can create events. Like I said, with wholesaling, I started very small, okay? I would do just little groups meetings at restaurants where I would teach people about wholesaling. I would get them into my thing, and I would charge them. Even if it was a very small amount, I would charge them for my knowledge. So one of the things that you do that is so awesome with investing in yourself is you learn something that you can then do and teach, okay? Be very intentional, be very deliberate about spending money and doing something that you can learn, do, and teach, because now not only do you have the income from doing it, okay, so I'm able to wholesale, I have the skill set, I know how to do it. That's one stream of income. I was able to get wholesale deals where they were $5,000, $10,000 per deal, and then as I'm teaching it, I'm charging people even just $250, $500 to teach them what I know. I can also show them my contract, show them I know how to do contracts, show them how they do their contracts. Even the mistakes that I made became content for my course, my books, my podcast, the whole nine, okay? So anything that you do, whether it's hair, frying chicken, making pies, making videos, being a videographer, learn it, do it, teach it. That is the way to create multiple streams of income, because you're getting money from doing it and you're getting money from teaching it, and the other streams of income that you can create going forward. One more thing, because I just can't end here. I got one more amazing thing I got to just tell you. And then last but not least, you want to create multiple streams of income after you have that one thing going. So like I said, I started with wholesaling. That's a stream of income. I know how to wholesale. I know how to get a couple of deals. Then I created just a little course, okay? I think that was the first thing. Actually, I didn't create a course at first. I just started teaching people kind of on Zoom calls and saying, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm able to teach you step by step. This is how much money I've been able to make, showing them some of my deals, showing them how I got a contract, okay? And then you create another stream of income. So first I just was teaching it informally, just maybe on a group Zoom call and teaching that. Then I created a course. Then I created an entire mentorship program. Then I created a book. Then I created a YouTube channel. Then I created a podcast. Then I created, you get what I'm saying? There's multiple streams of income. So you just get that one thing going, and then you create more and more streams of income. And not only do you double your income, you triple it and quadruple it. And then the fun part here is it's all you. These are your streams of income. This is your business. This is not something that someone can take from you. You know what I mean? When you are able to create money on your own, it is powerful. People can't take that from you. No one can lay you off, all right? No one can, fire you from your own business. This is really your thing that you get to have. And then as it grows, you grow. And as you get tired of maybe one thing, maybe, I got tired of teaching it one by one. I wanted to do events and have these be on stages and then teach it to large groups of people. And then I was able to do that. And then I was able to come on YouTube and TikTok and LinkedIn and all of these different social media platforms that paid me for this content because I know how to do this thing. So the biggest lesson here, if you want to learn to double your money, invest in you. Don't invest in other people. Don't get tied up with, my friend is starting a business and I'm going to do that and that's going to double my money, or I'm going to play the lottery. No, invest in you. That is the biggest secret. I took way too long to learn that. And that is the thing that I want to make sure that you get right now because it is so important. All right, one more thing. So I have written my brand new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, and I'm giving this book away to you absolutely free. Just go to noellsfreebook.com and get this new book absolutely free, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets. I poured my heart into this book and I made sure that I gave you different templates, different recaps, different strategies. I give you graphs and all kind of things so it's easily outlined for you. It is a really great book that I poured my heart into and people are loving this book, and I am still giving it away for free, but I'm not going to be able to do that forever. So go to noellsfreebook.com. All you do is cover the shipping and the handling, and you will get this book with a bunch of other bonuses on that page absolutely free. Again, I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.